I'm Randy and I make candy, and tonight I'm making tiger butter bars. Stick around. Greetings my confectionery compadres, and welcome to Randy Makes Candy, where I help you make tasty treats that people love to eat. I was up in Big Bear a while back and I discovered not one but two candy shops. As always, I took the time to have a little R&R. That stands for research and reconnaissance. I had a neat experience in one of the shops that I'll share with you after the recipe. In the other shop though, I saw a candy called Tiger Butter Crunch. I'd never heard of tiger butter before, so of course I asked. Turns out someone somewhere decided to mix white chocolate and peanut butter together and call it tiger butter, perhaps because it's most commonly seen swirled with dark or milk chocolate to give it a striped effect, kind of like a tiger. At least that's what I was told. Strangely enough, I can't find any information about the history of tiger butter. Who came up with it, when it was first seen, nothing. Very mysterious. Just because I can't explain it though, doesn't mean we can't make and enjoy some. Am I right? As always, I'd love to hear about your results if you decide to make your own tiger butter bars, as well as suggestions for other recipes you'd like to see in future videos. And if you have any background information on this tasty treat, please post it down in the comments. I am dying to know how this all happened. For this recipe, I used 1 cup of white chocolate, 5 tablespoons of dark chocolate, and 5 tablespoons of peanut butter. Of course, you're welcome to use milk chocolate here instead of dark. Like I always say,
do what you like, and do what you like. Everybody do what you like.
I'm also using a couple of bowls for melting the chocolate, some parchment paper, and a 6x6 baking pan. If you want to make this in an 8x8, just double the ingredients. You may have noticed that I'm using 2 different types of bowl here, glass and silicone. I normally use silicone when I'm melting chocolate because I'm usually tempering it, and silicone doesn't retain heat, which helps me regulate the temperature better. I'm not tempering in this case, I'm just melting some of the chocolate to set it aside. That's the dark chocolate. But using a glass bowl will help me retain some of that heat and keep it nice and melty until I'm ready to use it, just in case you were wondering. Okay, let's make some candy. Line the baking pan, melt the dark chocolate, and set it aside. This took about 1 minute and 40 seconds in my microwave. Give the white chocolate about 1 minute in the microwave. You want it in the early stages of melting, but not completely melted. Add the peanut butter and microwave it for another 30 seconds or so, then give it a good mix. If it's not completely melted, give it another short nuke, just a few seconds. Pour the mixture into the baking pan. And drizzle the dark chocolate over the top. Drag a knife through the mixture to give it a nice marbled effect. Allow the chocolate to rest on the counter or in the refrigerator until it's set. Then cut it into whatever size pieces you'd like. And that's it. Okay, let's give it a try. Slancheva. This is really tasty. You'd never know that this only took 3 ingredients and less than 10 minutes of kitchen time. The flavors are as good as you'd expect, reminiscent of a peanut butter cup, but without that dryness that you can sometimes get. This is nice and creamy, except that I used crunchy peanut butter, so those peanuts are providing a textural counterpoint that's quite pleasant. If you want to accentuate the creaminess, you would of course use creamy peanut butter. It's also got kind of a marshmallow flavor from the white chocolate, but that's tiger butter. If you're looking for a new and delicious way to combine chocolate and peanut butter, you really ought to try these. As I mentioned earlier, when I was in Big Bear, I'd planned to check out both of the candy shops. When I arrived at the second one though, a place called the Village Sweet Shop, they were closed. I'm sure you can imagine my disappointment. As I was standing there, mourning a missed opportunity, I heard someone behind me say that the shop would open the next morning at 10. I turned around to see a lady wearing a hoodie with the Village Candy Shop logo. When I told her we were leaving first thing next morning, she actually unlocked the store and invited me in. I literally had an entire candy store all to myself. Dream come true? You're darn tootin'. As I wandered around the shop looking at all the amazing treats, I told her about the YouTube channel that I do, and she told me how she had just bought the place and some of the trials she was facing. As I was completing my purchases, I asked, I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but could I get a picture with you? I really want to share this experience on my channel. She agreed, so here we are. This is Tamara, new owner of the Village Sweet Shop. Next time you're in Big Bear, you should stop by and check it out. I'll put a link to their Facebook page down in the description. If you enjoyed your time here in the Candy Kitchen, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you'll join me next time. I normally use silicone. Yeah. But I'm still using... And drizzle a...